right here, dog. Where my dogs at? We right here, dog. Where my dogs at? Right here, dog. What must I go through? Show you shit real. I ain't really never give a fuck.
Not the radio edit.
It's okay. It's almost 8 p.m.
Listen, it's almost 8 p.m. and whatever. I drop my bombs on Bill once in a while, so it doesn't matter. All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of the Empire 161 Show, Season 5, Episode 2. We got some baseball to talk about. No more previews, no more off-season stuff. We actually have games to talk about, Lisa.
And not only do we have games, we have good games to talk about.
Yes, we got a happy show to discuss tonight. So let's get into that. But yeah, thank you for joining us as always. If you're joining us on Facebook live stream, if you're joining us on YouTube or X, which is appropriate. Get at me, dog, because that's our opening song today at DMX. And wherever you found your audio on the podcast, we always appreciate the support. I am Ed, and with me as always is Lisa. Lisa, what's going on? How was your week?
Well, Ed, I'm really happy that I know how to swim because it rained so damn much in New York this week. It was crazy. I thought my car was going to float away one day because Brooklyn is known for that. But my car didn't. And the sun finally came out today. I really feel like we're living in Seattle or across the pond where one of our good friends lives. It was crazy. But the Yankees were away, so the weather didn't have anything to do with them. And they were in a dome for 4 of their games. And in that dome, they had a hell of a series to open the year. We're going to get all into that. We're going to talk about their series against the Astros, their series against the Diamondbacks. We brought back our top of the heap and king of the hills. And Ed and I will see what we chose, see if we have any differences of opinions or if we're reading each other's minds. But we're very excited to talk actual baseball games again, finally. So this is our first official coverage of games episode. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, excited to talk about it. But before we get into games, let's talk about a couple of things in baseball that have been kicked around this week. And actually, one of them is baseball, but also is very influenced with the Yankees. So last episode, and anywhere you followed baseball, you're well aware of the nonsense that's been going on with the uniforms and stuff. And like, Lisa, we learned this week in live games that there's another flaw with these uniforms.
Is there?
Apparently, you can just sweat right through them with absolutely no problem, and everyone will see every sweat stain on your jersey. What the fuck am I looking at? I'm sorry, there it is already. But
already an F-bomb, not even 5 minutes in.
Already, because you know this is something that has pissed me off. Like, this whole uniform thing is absurd. I went on a whole thing telling my wife Angie yesterday, complaining about the whole thing, and like, man, they signed Soto a long-term deal. I'm probably going to be excited to get a jersey at some point, but not as long as this is happening. I'm not. Just absolutely not. There's zero chance I'm dropping that kind of money on some piece of crap that looks like it's one of those $30 jerseys from like China that you get online that obviously are nowhere near the original. That's what they look like. Like, literally, that's what they look like. What was your thoughts on this? Because Carlos Rodon really was the poster boy for the sweat getting through his jersey.
You know,
no undershirt.
When I first saw it, I was like, why is his shirt a different color? And then I realized it. Mm-hmm. And then the very first thing I thought was, man, are all this Chapman screwed?
That's a good call because he did cross my mind briefly. I'm not going to lie. He did at some point.
But yeah, it was, yeah. I mean, and if your shirt sweats, guess what else sweats? The pants.
Yes. And I cannot say that I personally noticed any issues with the pants per se.
I did not, but I do think that a lot of the players are wearing last year's pants.
Yeah, I have to imagine that's been a thing. Yeah. I mean, who knows? I did post an article on our Facebook group page just before we went on tonight. And Yeah, basically Nike is saying that they're looking into it. The summary is they're looking into it. They're not like ignoring it, but they have said in full disclosure, it's going to take time because they're going to have to like test materials and stuff and like, well, to achieve what they wanted to achieve. Because the goal here was supposedly to give the players like a lighter, more breathable. That's like every single time a uniform changes what everyone's trying to accomplish, right? Like the goal is to basically wear air while you're playing, right? Like that's the goal, right? But I just don't know what happened with the testing process and stuff with the sweating. But they've also said that they supposedly started testing this in the middle of last season, and that they have produced a bunch of uniforms for every team, like for the entire season. So for them to mass produce enough to, if they find the correction, it's probably not going to happen until next season. So on one hand, I'm like, okay, next season, at least some point, and that's when Soto would be up for getting re-signed. So because I have zero aspirations of getting a jersey this season, that wasn't happening regardless. But for next season, okay. But like, are you also going to address the other issue that I've noticed is the spacing of the lettering of the names and stuff? Like the letters are tiny on people's names, and you can't see them; they're illegible. So, I don't know. There's just a lot. And how about this? Lisa, we talked about this before we went on. I've got a great solution for Nike and for MLB. You ready for this? It's wild. It is nuts. Ready? I'm glad we're both sitting down. Okay? Ready? I wish I had a seatbelt because I'm about to fasten your seatbelts in. If you're listening, get close to the speaker. Turn your headphones on. Ready? Just start wearing last year's uniforms. Oh my! Because I know they didn't disintegrate. Someone didn't steal them. You didn't donate them or something like that. They're somewhere. They're in a clubhouse somewhere. Just wear last year's uniforms. That's it. It's a simple solution. Be like, hey, let's table this crap because we know there's a problem. Let's do what we can with what we already got. And that's it. Like, this has been an epic failure. Epic failure.
So what I see happening next is that, you know how there's like an official Jeep, an official Audi, an official sports luxury car? There's now going to be an official body deodorant of MLB.
That's interesting.
By the way, if y'all do that,
who can recommend it.
I needed credit for that.
Yeah.
Old Spice or like remember the guy that used to do the Old Spice commercials that was like half man, half like
yeah.
I
forgot his name.
Yeah. They should like go back and do like funny commercials like that, talking about do you sweat through your uniform?
They should lean into it, right? Just that's it. Just
they should.
It's kind of like how I feel remember when it used to snow in New York and like, you know, you would fall on the ice sometimes and slip on black ice. If you're the first person to laugh your ass off, no one else laughs at you then because it's already done. Like the joke is already done.
Mm-hmm.
And that would be the secret. But there's also some body deodorant thing I've seen on TV called Mando. Yes, ironically after my dog.
Yeah.
Right? You've seen those commercials.
Uh-huh.
That woman on the commercial, because she says she's the one who invented it, she needs to jump in right now and be like, listen, let's go. Let's do this. Listen, her whole company can turn around. They can just
Absolutely.
become the official deodorant of Major League Baseball.
That's it. I think it would be hilarious if SNL, if anybody from SNL is watching, you should do a skit about the uniforms.
Yes.
Because that would be really funny. There's so much to do. Ed and I can write it for you.
Yes.
Just saying.
It's not hard.
Yeah,
it's
not
super
hard
easy.
at all.
Super easy. Barely an inconvenience. The other thing, since it seems like I'm hoping it's not a weekly segment where we fucking rip on baseball for their crappy uniforms. This involves the Yankees. So Monday is the solar eclipse, Lisa. Were you aware of this?
Oh, I saw.
Okay. Were you aware of this? I was aware of this. I was also made aware of this because, right? And a 2:05 start. And I remember when I looked over the schedule and I'm like, and this is a couple months ago. 205 on a Monday against the Marlins. What the hell is this about? And then once I looked at the promotion, it's like they're giving away T-shirts that have to do with like promoting the solar eclipse. Like you're gonna sit through a game during a solar eclipse, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And then I had one of my vouchers from last season for Fan Appreciation Day. That was one of the games listed because there were like 9. And I'm like, okay, it's my friend Steve's birthday that day. Why don't I cash in a ticket and then I can go ahead and I will take him to a Yankee game for his birthday. And all set up, ready to go. Took the day off. Let's go. And then about 2 hours ago, 2 or 3 hours ago now, Major League Baseball, not the Yankees, Major League Baseball and all its infinite wisdom under Rob Manfred decided that it was going to be dangerous or like it was health concerns were happening, and they postponed the start of the game to 6:05.
Oh my God.
You didn't realize this prior to today. Less than a week before the game.
This eclipse, okay, they've been talking about it for probably 2 months.
Yes.
At least. And solar eclipses, you can predict when they happen clearly, right?
That's what I heard.
It's like a comet. You can predict when Halley's Comet is coming back around. So why would you pick an afternoon game? And you could also pick when you also know when the eclipse is happening. The eclipse is literally happening between 2 and 4 p.m. Can you imagine the players in the outfield trying to catch a ball going blind?
All right, so you agree that it is obviously not a smart idea to play during the game.
Absolutely not. And they leaned into it because they had solar eclipse t-shirts.
Yes, so that's my point.
They knew this. This is so dumb. So dumb.
I just don't understand, like, whatever the process is, that Major League Baseball and the Yankees and stuff, and like all teams, they submit these start times and promotions, I'm sure, and blah, 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 and they get approved. And that never rang at some point to like, hey, I see what your idea is, but maybe we should not do that because it's not a great
maybe we should talk to a meteorologist.
Yes, or something. Like there's somebody that didn't stop.
Bill Nye the Science Guy, or what's the other guy's name?
Oh, Neil deGrasse
Tyson.
Yeah, Tim loves that guy.
Talk to an expert, please. Call Lee Goldberg from Channel 7. Like, call Mike Woods from Channel 5.
Al Roker. Call Sam Champion, or I don't know, whatever.
God.
Have a summit.
Huff.
Yeah, have a summit of all the weather people and get them all together in the local area and have them explain to you why this is a bad idea. But now, though, as someone who has tickets to this game and can now not make the 6:05 start time,
we have a fan of Neil deGrasse Tyson. Nice.
All right. Thank you for joining the show on YouTube. We appreciate it, man. Hope you're enjoying the show. Tim doesn't actually. Tim hates him. But Tim hates Neil deGrasse Tyson because he's always like talking smack about Star Wars and logic and stuff. But I can no longer make this game, so I'm gonna speak to my rep tomorrow, and they need to let me exchange the game because I can no longer make this game now because I have a softball game to play at 6 o'clock. I was cutting it close. I was gonna make it though, but now no, man. Give me my damn voucher back. Let me go trade it in for another game.
Yeah, absolutely. We're gonna have to talk offline about the fact that Steve is going to 2 games with you now.
Alex, I can explain why. That's probably the only 2 games he's gonna go to all season. I can guarantee that. Whatever. Listen, I don't care. Listen. During the off season, he had made it on a couple of occasions known that he would like to attend more baseball games. He felt he was totally out of the loop on the list of people that I will contact for Yankees games. Over the years, he's dropped down this list dramatically, like to off the list. He was actually off the list for a couple of years. So he asked to be back on the list, so I was being a good friend and bringing him back onto the list. So,
you're a very good friend.
Yes. Now, we will see how often that happens during the season because my guess is it's something. So, Because the two reasons he's going is, number one, we're talking about a Friday game, so
you're talking about birthday. You're talking about
and a birthday.
I get
and a
it.
birthday.
I get
Okay,
it.
so
He's gonna hear from me the next time I see him, though.
You should.
He took my chance of going to opening day.
Well, now we're not going to the game on his birthday. I mean, I'm just hoping once they exchange it, because I called him early to let him know, and I was like, your birthday game can be, if it can be traded out, can go into another game. It's fine.
Yeah.
But we'll see what comes up. Because I'm sure I wouldn't be shocked if he bails out of that game at the last minute, and then that's that. So.
Listen, for whatever reason, tomorrow I will be on standby.
Yes. All right, Lisa, I will listen. This is evidence. The receipts are here. If something happens with Steve, you will be my call. You will get the ticket immediately.
Thank you.
You know him, so it's very well damn well.
I know. Happen. That's why I'm claiming it now.
Yeah, he might wake up sick. His shoes might be tied together. He may have had a wedgie or something. Who knows? It doesn't take a lot to deter this man.
A garbage can might get in his way.
Garbage can can get in his way that he has to throw and clean up for 6 hours. Who knows? These things happen.
Favorite story.
It's ridiculous. He's a madman. All right. Is there anything else that I missed during the week? I don't think there was necessarily anything else.
No, not really. But I just want to say, for those
email from the Yankees. I'm going to read this way. I'm sorry. Let's see if they allow that to happen.
You see if they allow what to happen?
If they're going to allow me, if they put it here that we can trade, that they can exchange the game.
Oh.
Go ahead.
So for the folks watching, Ed and I typically text each other throughout the games, and sometimes during the week too, when we hear things. And Ed sent me something during the week that made me both smile and laugh at the same time. I know you all saw it. It was Giancarlo Stanton planking, and then for lack of better words, sorry mom and dad, thrusting against the floor. I don't know how to describe that. But thank you, Eddie. Thank you. But we send each other funny things, and we have a lot of things to say during the games. We do our work, folks. We do our work for you.
Yes, we watch the games. I can promise you that. Even if we don't, we will watch the highlights and still catch.
We will.
All right. I don't see anything there about exchange details, which I find a little bit disturbing, but we'll see, because I think I will be having a nice conversation with my rep tomorrow. All right.
Thank you all.
Let's get into the games then, shall we? Let's roll back the clock to opening day. Last Thursday, 4:00, Yankees, Astros, one of the greatest days of the year. Major League Baseball opening day. And boy, was this one for the ages, where the Yanks would fall down 3-0, battle their way back, and come back to win by a final of 5-4. Nestor Cortez, who did take the ball after, prior to the season, there was stuff after Cole couldn't take the ball and he was hurt, he was going on the IL and everything like that, that there was, Rodon and Stroman weren't going to be moved and stuff, and some people lost their minds, and then that got cleared up. But Nestor took the ball. Only no decision, 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 2 walks, 5 Ks. Thankfully, Johnny Lasagna, our good friend Jonathan Loaizaga, came in, grabbed the win. 2 innings, 4 hits, 1 K. Clay Holmes picked up a save. Giving up 3 hits, though, in his lone appearance. And we'll talk about Clay Holmes more as this goes on, I'm sure. But Oswaldo Cabrera, who would turn out to be the hero in this, and hero in a couple of games, was 2 for 4 with a home run, 2 RBIs. And Juan Soto, making his Yankees debut, was 1 for 3 with an RBI, 2 walks. Anthony Volpe, 1 for 2 with an RBI and 3 walks. So, big comeback win for the Yanks to top the Astros. Something we've seen go the other way in the last couple of seasons, especially in the postseason. Super exciting. Couldn't start the season in a better fashion. What were your takeaways of this game, Lisa?
Well, first of all, you mentioned excuse me, it was a comeback for them. It was their largest comeback since they overcame a 9-run deficit versus Boston in 1950. So, we started the game and I was like, oh man, here we go. Every time freaking Jose Altuve gets up, I'm always like, I really dislike this man. And I'm just so I know I'm trying to keep it PG on my end. But I was really excited. Like I like the underdog players. I'm always cheering for the underdog players on the team. So when Oswaldo Cabrera stepped up and did what he did, I was like, man, you see, we need guys like this on the team. We have all the superstars, and there's always going to be the superstars, but we need these guys. We need Oswaldo Cabreras that can play any position and contribute. And I'm so glad that it's at the expense of DJ LeMahieu being hurt, but I'm so glad that he's getting an opportunity to play more because he's the energy that we need. And I like that. Like that I'm just going to be here every day. I'm going to contribute every day, and I'm going to be quiet, and like I'm going to be good with it. So I love that. Also, I have to say, and we might comment on it in the other game that he pitched, Nestor Cortez made a really good defensive play too when he slid into first base to get the out against Alvarez.
Absolutely. Great athletic play.
Yeah. So that was impressive. But I was thrilled. I was thrilled when the game got turned around. I was thrilled to see Cabrera hit his first home run of the season. Jonathan Loaizaga looked great. Very excited about this game. I'm not going to say more because I don't want to spoil the other games.
Well, also, here's a fun fact from Katie Sharp on Twitter, and we always plug her because she's a phenomenal follow on Twitter. Fun fact, Juan Soto is the first Yankee outfielder with an assist to home plate and an RBI in an opening day game.
Sheesh.
Ever. Lisa, we always bug out about these first ever things for the Yankees, being that they've been around for over 100 years. So there's a lot of history. So for you to do something for the first time in Yankees history, that's insane. It's just wild to really think about it.
It is. And that was a heck of a throw, too.
We actually have a couple of comments here. Kelvin Walter also chiming in on YouTube. Kelvin, I think we're going to hold off on yours because I'd rather wait until the end of the recap so we can discuss that, so we don't really kind of like bury the lead here. I think Damon Pearson.
He's talking about Jose Altuve.
Altuve, yeah, of course. He's the sucker. Absolutely. I want to say he's a female dog. I can say it. I mean, you can say it. It's all right. Altuve's a bitch.
You're allowed to say whatever you want, Damon.
Altuve's a bitch. Don't hold it back. He's a bitch. I would listen. Fuck Altuve all the chance. It goes through all of it. Whatever. Hold back nothing. Hold back nothing.
By the way, I just want to take a second to shout out the two people commenting because those are two of my good friends.
Oh, nice.
So thank you, Kelvin and Damon, for joining us tonight.
Much appreciated.
Very much appreciated. Also, by the way, I don't know if you noticed this, but this year on the highlights on MLB.com, when they you could do the game summaries and whatnot, they now tell you there's players of the game. So the player of the game, I'm sure you can guess.
For opening day?
Yep.
Oh, I mean, I'm going to say it was Oswaldo Cabrera.
And actually, they said it was Juan Soto.
I can see that being this is like Yankees debut and stuff like that, but like the moments, I guess the two moments that are going to stick with me for this game is going to be the home run by Cabrera and also the assist for Soto. So yeah, I guess he gets, part of it here. Raul Velasquez saying, "Oh, Juan Soto is the man for the Yankees right now." Listen, Raul, he is the man for the Yankees all the time. No, that before the trade happened, he was the man for the Yankees each and every day. Trust me. All right, so let's keep it rolling here as we went to Game 2, where the Yankees took another one, and this one pretty decisively by a final 7-1. Carlos Rodon, another guy that we have kind of circled as going to be a key part of this Yankees season, how it's going to go, like Nestor and Rodon with, Cole being out. He's another one, like to stabilize the rotation. Not great, but battled. Took a no decision, 4 in a third, 5 hits, 1 earned run, 3 walks, and 4 Ks. So not horrendous, but not like lights out either. Fine first start of the season. Luke Weaver came in out of bullpen, got the win, pitching an inning in the third. Juan Soto though 3 for 4 with an RBI, a double, and a walk. Cabrera again 4 for 5, 3 RBIs, a double, and Giancarlo Stanton hit a home run later in the game. Not saying it because some people are like, oh, it's 6-1. Now you hit a home run. Like hitting home runs home. It doesn't matter what the hell. I'm sure he's not thinking about the score when during the at bat. It happens. Nope. It was a bomb. That thing got out like in a heartbeat. So
I think did I write down the
got the exit velo?
No, I didn't get it for that one. But I will say Oswaldo Cabrera, that was his first 4-hit game of his career.
Yeah, the kid is running with the opportunity, man. I mean, you gotta, because last year he struggled quite a bit, and that was remember he was the starting left fielder in 2023, so he was given the opportunity last year, so he's got to make the most of it. And the kind of like shutting down the switch hitting and mostly just basically batting left-handed now, I think is going to do him some good.
I think so.
I really do. Because he also, during the series, hit left-handed against Josh Hader, the Astros closer, who's like one of the best closers in all of baseball, who, high 90s. And he was hanging in there. He put together some good at-bats against him, too.
He did. So before we move on from the game, I want to comment on a really fantastic heads-up play by Anthony Rizzo in the bottom of the ninth. Do you know what I'm talking about?
In game 2?
Yeah, Yordan Alvarez safely made it to first base.
Yes.
Turned the wrong way.
Yes.
And I don't know if Rizzo noticed or if the Yankees were like, tag him, but he tagged him and he got him out, and it was legit. He did turn the wrong way.
I do think it was Rizzo, because now that you're thinking about it, with the review, you do see Rizzo's head kind of like shake quickly, and he goes ahead and runs after him. A lot of first basemen don't pay attention to that, to be honest with you. But you should.
I mean, that's one of the good things about him, and that's one of the things you and I both love about him, is that he's an excellent, like he's a great first baseman. He makes a lot of plays that you don't think other people are going to make, and he's very aware of what's going on in the game. So
yeah.
Still, player of the game that game was Oswaldo Cabrera.
Okay, there we go.
Well deserved too.
Absolutely, first 4-hit game of your career. I mean, what else more do you got to do? All right, so that takes us to game 3, which was Saturday night, where Marcus Stroman made his Yankees debut, and the Yanks took that one by a final 5-3. Stroman did pick up the win, and also he actually did throw 100 pitches, and I believe it was up until maybe the other day, or still might be standing. He was the only pitcher in baseball to throw 100 pitches, like this season. Like no one actually went near it because it's early in the season, so a lot of starting pitchers are kind of capped at 80 around this time of season. Stroman looked pretty good, man. 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, no earned runs because there was some sloppy defense by the Yanks that led to those runs being unearned. 2 walks and 4 Ks. Clay Holmes got his second save of the season. Juan Soto 2 for 5 with his first home run as a Yankee. That was nice to see, and that was a nice shot the other way. Like he reached out and flicked that. It was a fastball away. And he just kind of just went with it in the Crawford boxes, which is pretty awesome to see. That, I mean, the dude is just phenomenal to watch on a day-to-day basis. Oswaldo Cabrera, that guy again, it's like the same couple of names, which the third guy we'll mention a little bit more now. Cabrera was 1 for 4 with his second home run of the season, 2 RBIs. Anthony Volpe was 2 for 4 with his first home run of the year. So
yep.
Yanks
and I know we've been talking about that, last year Cabrera had a tougher season. I want to give it even more perspective. Last year, he didn't hit his second home run until game number 31. And this year he already has 2 home runs. So I do think that, solely focusing on the lefty at-bats is really going to help him out.
Nice. Yeah, no, I do really think so. If he just can isolate, his focus on just hitting left-handed. I mean, for switch hitters, it is tough. I mean, you've heard that through the years. Bernie Williams had even mentioned
absolutely.
Hicks looked like both sides of the plate. Just hitting became tough for him. You know, but throughout the years, you did hear that sometimes it's hard to keep both sides of the plate locked in at the same time. Usually, you're ice cold from one or the other.
Yep.
Devon mentioning, the guy, it was the fifth starter for the Astros. Because right after this series, the Astros they threw a no hitter against
they did.
the Blue Jays and won that one 10-0. That was Monday night.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't see his pitch count, so there you go. If he threw 108 pitches, then fine. There's probably a handful of dudes who have been able to actually throw 108. And I'm actually glad to see that they didn't pull him out. You know, because this early in the season, these days, like, oh my God, his arm's going to fall off. Get him out of there. You know, the alarm goes off in the dugout that we talk about, right? The red light and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Must remove pitcher, must remove pitcher. Like, no, I'm glad that one didn't go out, even though it's the Astros.
You know, the analytics folks were like, pull him.
Oh, I'm sure the tablets were getting thrown, their pocket protectors were melting, and there's probably some kind of a scene there in Houston. All right, and that takes us to Sunday afternoon, where the Yankees completed the sweep in an epic back-and-forth seesaw game.
Game. Woof.
Yeah, they won that one 4-3. Clark Schmidt scattered 7 hits. You know, another no decision because, again, this time of the year. These games were all decided late in the game anyway, so wins were basically coming out of the bullpen except Stroman. 5 1/3, 7 hits, 3 earned runs, no walks, 5 Ks. Birdie came out of the bullpen. Not to be confused with the other Birdie because we have 2 Birdies.
Oh my gosh, Bertie and Birdie.
Yeah, Birdie got the win, and Holmes got his 3rd save of the season, which was a nail biter. Anthony Rizzo 2 for 4 with a run scored. Bertie 1 for 4 with an RBI. Jose Trevino 1 for 4 with an RBI, and Juan Soto 3 for 5 with an RBI of his own, and you know the go-ahead run later in the game that was driven in. So, wow, a 4-game sweep to start the season over the Astros in Houston, all comebacks basically, except for the Stroman game
blowout. Mm-hmm.
But man, you couldn't ask for a better start to the season, like at all. Like,
listen, yeah, you really couldn't. I mean, when I first heard that we were playing the Astros, I was like, really, them? That's the opening series? But you couldn't have structured this any better. This is ideal for Yankee fans.
Yes, just slay the dragon right off the bat, set the tone for the season. And by the way, also not to be lost in this, Alex Verdugo made the catch in left field for the final out.
Oh man, that was a great catch. Great catch.
And this is actually the game where the dogs and the barking was born.
Yes, it is.
This was the game. And for those who didn't know, it's like Alex Verdugo kind of just basically said in a post-game interview that we're dogs. There's dogs in here. And that seems to be the new mantra for the Yankees. Like, there's barking now. There's, of course, RotoWare ran out and printed a T-shirt faster than it could probably came out of Verdugo's mouth. It was nuts. No, I have not ordered it. It's probably, I'm not so sure about that one. We'll see. It's got to kind of marinate after a while. I don't know. Let's see in like a month or two if this is still the mantra or not. Because that Savages in the Box T-shirt is still in the drawer. Which they can get back to being Savages in the Box this season.
They could.
But the offense the last few years, not really one that I was like, yeah, I think I need to dust this one off. No. Plus, I thought the Savages in the Box thing was just absolutely hilarious. Because you remember Boone and this whole thing, and like it was actually pretty damn funny. After that sweep, though, the Yanks would take the show to Arizona, and Monday night took down the Snakes by a final of 5-2. Luis Gil got the start in this one. Looked pretty good. I gotta say, he was pretty solid. No decision though. Again, pitch count stuff. 4 2/3, a hit, 1 earned run, 3 walks, 6 Ks. Victor Gonzalez, another new Yankee, got from the Dodgers. They got one of the 2 lefty relievers they got. Picked up the save. Anthony Volpe, though, 4 for 4, 2 runs scored, an RBI, and 2 doubles, giving him 3 on the season. Gleyber Torres, 2 for 5 with an RBI as well. So this was the Anthony Volpe game.
Yep. So I got a couple stats for you here. Anthony Volpe, that was the first time he ever had a 4-hit game. And when Victor Gonzalez got the last out for the 5th straight win, It was the first time for New York since 1992, and only the fourth time in franchise history that they got 5 straight to begin the season.
Yeah, historic start. Now, wasn't the last time they started off 5-0, 1992?
Don't say. I was gonna say, don't say anything.
Oh, it was. That was the last time they got off the start. And
yeah, it's 1992.
Let's hope its season doesn't go the way the 1992 season went on. That's for sure. Because those are dark days. Those are the dark days for the Yankees.
Those are really dark days.
That was the Mel Hall, Jesse Barfield, the broken down Don Mattingly at that point.
Oh man!
Please don't do that again. All right, but
wait, I do have one more interesting stat. Luis Hill, that was the first time he started in 690 days.
Wow.
Yep, May 12th, 2022 was his last start.
Wow.
And like you said, he did a good job.
No, he looked good, man. Everything looked good with him. And again, like Cabrera, this is his opportunity. You want to make a statement here with an injury to Cole, and you can actually solidify a spot, because we both know it's just the way it is. Like, you just don't go to 5 starters for a season, right? Like, you need a lot of starters here. So, unfortunately, knock on wood, it doesn't happen, but odds are someone's going to miss a start or two here and there throughout the season, but you want to make sure you're the guy, who stays in a rotation for health and performance. So, fortunately, though, the Yanks would take their first loss of the season Tuesday night, final 7-0. Nestor Cortez didn't really have much in this one, took his first loss. 5 innings, 8 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 2 Ks. Yanks offense was 3 for 28 on the night. They threatened some times early. They were getting some runners on, but not really anything significant there. Past that, Zach Gallen just looked really sharp. I will say, though, and I'm not going to do it like a whole umpire thing, but the strike zone, especially in Arizona, and I remember specifically in this game, highly questionable.
Extremely questionable. And you could see it in all the Yankees' faces, because several of them look back at the umpire. I mean, he called so many out of the strike zone low strikes.
Especially to Aaron Judge,
to Aaron Judge.
The laces to shins section, where some umpires like to call a strike on him. Oh, that happened. That absolutely happened for a punch out, and he was visibly pissed off, which you don't really see a lot of.
But it wasn't just him. Gleyber Torres, I saw, got upset. Juan Soto was upset. There was one other person. Maybe it was Oswaldo Cabrera. I'm not sure. It was terrible. It was terrible. I don't know what that man was thinking with that strike zone, especially with Aaron Judge, which didn't those days pass? Didn't all the umpires get it together already with him?
Unfortunately not, Lisa. Unfortunately not. It's just something I'll have to deal with. But yesterday afternoon, late night Yankees, thankfully only 2 games on this trip to start the season, because I will admit it was a battle. It was
tough. I definitely fell asleep on the couch in the middle of the 2 games. What? Game 3 almost became a late night game.
Yes, game 3 though, yesterday afternoon, Yanks went ahead and took that one 6-5 in extra innings. A lot of action. Yeah, extra innings. A lot of action with the Manfred man involved. Anyone who listens to the show knows how much I enjoy that shit. I will admit there is a level of excitement per se that goes into it, or stress instantly, because you have a runner in scoring position immediately and you have to play around it. It just feels contrived still. It still just feels like this forced nonsense with the ghost runner, the Manfred man, whatever you want to call it. It's just weird still. I'm still not loving this. But nonetheless, Rodon made his second start of the season. Another no decision. 5 1/3, 7 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 solo shots is what he gave up. 2 walks and 3 Ks. So, again, not horrible. Scattered the 7 hits. Kind of most of them came out at the end. Clay Holmes picked up the win after blowing the save, though, because that did happen, and that's just the weird quirks of baseball scoring. An inning in the third, 1 hit, 3 runs, a strikeout. Caleb Ferguson, the other aforementioned lefty that we got from the Dodgers, picked up the save. He's looked pretty damn good, I got to say, so far. He's made a lot of appearances early on. Aaron Judge got off the schneid because he did not look good at all until yesterday, but hopefully just in time to come back home, 2 for 4 with his first home run of the season, which was a 2-run shot. Later on, added an RBI double to give him 3 RBIs on the day. Alex Verdugo, 1 for 4 with a home run and 2 RBIs. That was a 2-run shot in the 10th inning. That would go ahead and tie it. First pitch fastball swinging. Another guy who was struggling, so that was a big home run for him. And I do remember hearing a Judge in the postgame talking about how him and Verdugo, apparently they're pretty buddy, those two, and were prior to the trade. He was just telling him, like, hey, I'm going to go up there and go my ace swing first pitch. I'm just going to try to go for it and got to get me over fastball and clocked it. And definitely, I don't think it was showboating, but he took his time around the bases a little bit and savored it. I think it was more out of the frustration.
I mean, listen, we already know he's the showboat type. Okay.
No, he is. I'm not defending him suddenly now. I'm just trying to say is that I just didn't see it. It kind of seemed like he was more relieved once he made contact, kind of like tossed the bat and stuff. Plus, I'm all for the letting the kids play stuff. I am. Like, the days of drilling a batter the next guy or next time up for kind of like a bat flip or something like that, I'm just done with that. I don't care about that. There's ways to do it and ways not to do it. If you stare down the pitcher after and that's what you're doing, or you're like doing something crazy like some sort of DX crotch chop to the pitcher or some nonsense like that directed directly at him, then I can say you crossed the line. Like, that's one thing. See the Jose Bautista home run from years ago in the playoffs. I think it was against Texas. He stood a hole through that guy's head. That's when you should probably be wearing one the next time around. That's what I'm going to say with that. But the wild bottom of the 11th, where there was no one on, and then there was the errant throw by Volpe, which Rizzo saved, and then went to tag on the helmet, and I would think it was Perdomo who got hit on the helmet with it. Then the ball got away. He advances to second. He gets hurt going to second base as well. Like, there was all kinds of crazy stuff. And guess what? This game ended, right? There was a base open with second and third, right? 2 outs. And the pitcher was on deck, their relief pitcher, because they went and put their DH in the game, back in the field. So they forfeited the DH. That means their pitcher has to hit for the rest of the game. They had nobody left on the bench. And Boone made the right call. Screw that. We're going to go after the guy who does not swing a bat. His first career major league at bat. And rightfully so. Ferguson went right after him, strike 3 on the outside corner. And some smart baseball being played there. So, exciting road trip. Yanks come home 6-1 for the home opener tomorrow afternoon against the Blue Jays. A couple of things I guess overall thoughts on what I've noticed some, at least it seems to me like there have been some adjustments though with this team. I mean, the feeling in the dugout seems a bit more upbeat, a bit more hyped, you want to say, like with the whole dogs thing and stuff like that. And we talked about it last week though, right? Like adding guys like Soto, Verdugo, Stroman, we felt they were going to kind of bring that confidence, and we know there's a line between cockiness and confidence and stuff, and it seems to be like it's kind of like the energy that the Yankees needed in that, instead of kind of being so buttoned up all the time. And I kind of feel like, and I'm not going to this extent yet, but it did remind me of the 2009 team a little bit when they had the pies in the face.
Mm-hmm.
And AJ Burnett brought that, and CC kind of brought this type, and Nick Swisher. Like, three of their big acquisitions in the offseason brought this type of an energy to the team. And I kind of just getting that sense there's a long way to go. I am not calling, that's it, plan the parade, let's go, Canyon. I'm just saying the excitement, the confidence, what you see, it kind of feels like that. As much as I would love to see them bring the pies in the face back thing, because I thought that was great.
I'm still waiting for Derek Jeter to get one because he never got
Yes,
one.
he never did.
There
No,
was
he
like
never did.
there was like a clause in that it was like you better not pie Derek Jeter in the face.
It's crazy, right? Like that he never got that, and meanwhile he's like Mr. like walk off hit and like clutch hit and everything, but
Yep.
it never happened. Like the opportunity just never presented itself.
So I have a question: if they bring back the pies in the face, who's gonna put a pie in Aaron Judge's face? The only person that's close enough to reach him would be Giancarlo Stanton.
You've answered the question. It would have to be
It would have to be him. Like either that.
I would love to see Volpe try it.
Oh my gosh, that would be so funny.
Get him like a little step
ladder. Or like Jose Trevino. Who was it that he would pick up? What was the guy's name?
Ronald Torreyes.
Oh my God, Ronald Torreyes. He would pick him up after he got a hit.
Yeah. No, that was.
Honestly, like most of the guys would have to wait until he goes into the dugout and then they get him from up top.
So I know you don't watch. I know you don't watch hockey, but the New York Rangers have a kid, Matt Rempe, who is 6'8". He's listed at 6'7" change, but he says 6'8". Huge guy, just fights a lot, physical player and stuff like that, but he could actually play the game. So when they go off the ice and they're high-fiving, there's another guy who's been on the team, Chris Kreider, who actually puts his glove on the top of his stick and raises it up to give him a high five as he goes away off the ice.
I love that.
It's phenomenal. It would need to be something like that. Someone needs to put like a pie and a stick and just like Judge or Stanton in the face of it. Having said all that, I don't think that's going to happen. I think we're going to get something like dogs or something like that. There might be like a dog collar passed around and something like that. Or there's going to be something like, I guarantee you, if this sticks, that's what's going to happen. It's going to be some sort of.
I mean, you know, quite a few of them have fun, like with like handshakes and when they get on base. Meredith Marakovitz did a whole thing on it a couple years ago. Like they do, there was, I forgot, there was, I don't know if there's one like
the camera.
Something like that. Like there was one, and they wouldn't tell the media what they were doing.
Yeah, no,
it's like
it was
their
a big
secret code. Yeah.
Yeah, there was the thumbs down that year. The top.
Oh, that was I mean, you knew who that was from. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, I always do get a kick out of those like fun things and stuff like that.
Me too.
That go throughout the season. Roll has another comment in here. This Yankees team are having fun and energized compared to the others. No, you're right. It's just what it's been, and it's kind of refreshing to see that. I mean, yes, when you're winning, everyone's having fun, everyone's having a great time. Like you always see that, and yes, the time will come where there will be, they will hit a skid or two across the season, and it's important to see that they stick with that. And this is kind of like their mantra throughout the season. Another thing I kind of noticed and I wanted to comment on was the lineups. So last couple of years, there was something like, the lineups would drastically change game to game. And it was like, analytics, whatever the computer spit out, that's what Boone's running out there. The lineups have virtually remained very close to being the same. Like, for the most part, right? Like the bones of the lineup, we kind of know what it's going to be. Slight alterations between Stanton and Rizzo and Verdugo and Volpe based on lefty-righty. That's natural. But you've seen that. And I kind of think that that's something that's probably one of the things that Aaron Judge had brought up at the end of last season when he recovered, he made those quotes and things he wanted to bring to Hal and Cashman and stuff like that. It was kind of seemed the overall gist of that was like getting back to like baseball. Let's take the analytics for what they are, but let's do things that have historically worked in baseball. And that's one of them. Like, you can't just juggle the lineup and like pick names out of a hat every single day. Like, it's just unnerving to players. So there is that. And also the working of the counts are back. Like the very traditional Yankee approach that we've seen like in the 90s and when things are going well, like the 2000s and stuff, like they're seeing a lot of pitches. They're working counts. They're making pitchers work, driving up pitch counts. Like, that's great to see coming back. And Soto is a guy that I feel like has kind of led the way of getting back to this. Not that like Judge never worked the count or everyone didn't do that, but the biggest difference is kind of like seeing Soto put it on display and sharing his game. And Oswaldo Cabrera literally said that he attributes his hot start to Soto to like getting tips from him on a regular basis.
Yeah, you know who needs to talk to him more?
Go. Who does?
Gleyber Torres. Because he was swinging out of his cleats a couple of times.
Yeah, and the first couple of games looked like he was into it, working the count. So, but you're right. But that's what we criticized Gleyber for, right?
Yep.
He gets pull happy, and he starts swinging out of his shoes. And it's like, dude, you're not that guy. You're not. And if you're going to bat leadoff, I still think Volpe is going to take that spot from him at some point. He's going to end up being the leadoff hitter, and that'll be his spot, and I don't see him giving it up then. He's got the tools to be that guy. And Volpe he's another one. His swing is much more level now. That crazy uppercut is gone. He's also not pull happy. And you can see the results. He's spraying the ball line to line now, and it's great to see. Like, these changes have been tremendous to see, through their first plus handful of games that are here. I guess we get to a couple of quick comments before we get to our awards of the week. Come on. Ian Hamilton has been extremely good, and might be talking about him in a few minutes again. So he's been one guy who has been a standout of the bullpen. The Yanks bullpen has been great. Clay Holmes, though, got a couple of saves, but has looked lights out so far. There's been some hairy situations, and last year we talked about him being like John Wetland's reincarnate. Like, just there's nothing easy, man. It's just always going to be an adventure with him. But Ian Hamilton has definitely been a bright spot. And Kelvin Walter, hey team, have you two seen enough already to extend Soto right now? As I said earlier, I saw enough from Juan Soto before he even put the uniform on to want to sign him. But Scott Boras is his agent, and it's not going to happen. Like, it's just, we know that it's going to be a bidding war in the offseason. Doesn't matter what happens. It looks like he's having a time of his life early on with the Yankees, and that's good to see, because I think that does hold weight. Like, if he has a great experience this season playing with the Yankees and playing with, Judge and everything like that, like, I do think that's worth something. I'm not saying he's going to take this hometown discount suddenly or even suggest that. But team chemistry means something, and we'll see. Tomorrow is a huge day for Soto. He's going to finally actually put on the pinstripes. The roll call, that place is going to erupt when he's
the energy. Yeah, the energy.
Yeah. It's going to be phenomenal tomorrow. So that's going to be another big thing. And wait until he sees those big games that come up when we play Houston here tomorrow, when we play the Red Sox, even though, the Red Sox are predicted to be on the downturn, but it's still Yankees-Red Sox. Yankees-Dodgers is going to be electric later in the season. So, there's going to be a lot of big moments. And once he gets a taste of playing at home in the stadium, he's going to fall in love. It's just going to be what it is. All right. Let's do our awards of the week. If you are new to the show, we do have a top of the heap, which is our hitter of the week, and a king of the hill, which is our pitcher of the week. So, Lisa, you get us started. Top of the heap, hitter of the week, first of 2024. Who is it? Because we've had some candidates.
Yep, we talked about it. Well, we didn't say who we picked, but we talked about before the show started that there were 3 really strong candidates. So I went with the one who may not get on this list a lot. I do think the other 2 candidates will get on the list more. So, and you saw my face the first time you even said anything about him. I'm going with Osvaldo Cabrera. So proud of him. I'm like a proud mama. For the week, he had a 346 average. His on base and slugging percentage was a 1.008, which is just like ridiculous.
Video game,
seriously. 2 home runs, and as I mentioned, he didn't hit a second home run last year until the 31st game of the season. 7 RBIs, 4 runs, 9 hits, 2 walks, 393 on base percentage, and a 615 slugging percentage. Good for you, Oswaldo. Where's Waldo? All over the field. Who did you pick?
Excellent choice. I went with the generational Juan Soto. Who's the guy? Yes. I mean, it was hard not to, but 345 batting average, 1 home run, 4 RBIs, 924 OPS in his first handful of games. Great outfield assist, clutch home run, clutch hit. I mean, the Soto shuffle, seeing that in person now on a daily basis, and just how much fun it looks like he's having, because how much fun he's having playing the game. And I've seen this before because I have seen obviously Juan Soto play with the Nationals and with the Padres before. But when you see a guy on a regular basis, you do get another appreciation. The whole like when a guy gives him a good pitch, or if it's a close pitch and it's a ball, or no, like he'll shake and say no, like fuck no, like F that. I'm not giving you that. Don't bring that to me. So it's been awesome to see. So. Cabrera, Volpe, another excellent option.
Honorable mention, Anthony Volpe.
Yeah, those were really the three that we were going to pick from what I'm glad to see we did not go with the same person. So, okay.
I do think based on your little sneak peek, we might have the same King of the Hill, though.
Yeah, I do think so. King of the Hill pitcher of the week. I've got Ian Hamilton.
Me too.
I mean, listen, Stroman was probably my other option here that I was leaning towards, but Ian Hamilton has been lights out. He really has. He looks like he's locking up for the most part the setup man role. You know, Jonathan Loaizaga also did a great job. He's in more in that Michael King 2 innings, 2 days off role and stuff like that. So I think that's going to be someone Boone's going to lean on heavily. So yeah, that's why I went with Ian Hamilton. And well, I guess actually let's. I wanted to go ahead and do. Oh, I meant to bring up his friggin' numbers for the week, but here we go.
I have them.
Yeah, you go ahead, run them.
You're talking about Hamilton, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he has a 0 ERA, 5.2 innings pitched, 1 hit, 7 strikeouts, a .18 WHIP, and a .063 average against.
He's been great, and I mean, listen, Holmes needs to just be a little bit more lights out with this man. It's nerve-wracking watching him.
Well, do you see Damon's most recent comment? He said Holmes can't be trusted, and you and I have talked about that a lot.
Yeah, I mean, listen, his numbers at the end of the year, I'm sure, are going to look great, but
he's going to make like this a lot. Like, what are you doing? Like,
no, and I get it, and like. It just seems like there's a lot of hit by pitches and stuff, and then, things like that. I mean, we'll see. I will give him the benefit of the doubt. It's early and stuff like that, but I really did during the offseason, I really did want them to get a Josh Hader or somebody like that. Like I kind of was expecting something like that, but that didn't happen. But I guess it's because they feel good about Holmes. I mean, plus another thing too is that just because you're lights out in another inning does not mean you're going to be lights out in the ninth. With the game on the line, we've all seen it through the years. Like you need to have ice water in the veins. You generally do.
And we got spoiled for many years. We've talked about that before too.
Yeah, no, we did, and I do think that you can't hold everyone up to the Rivera standard. You're never going to see it again. It's not going to happen. But we also had like Rafael Soriano. When Rivera got hurt, we had Robinson. We survived Chapman for a couple of years. I'll say we survived him, but I mean, Holmes, yeah, I do agree. It's hard to trust him, but we shall see. I mean, hopefully he makes adjustments. Become a couple of 1, 2, 3 innings would be nice. I'm not asking for a lot here, but we'll see. All right, so. Lisa, what do we got coming up for the start of the homestand against the Blue Jays Friday afternoon, Saturday night, and then Sunday afternoon, which is our first game of the year.
I know, which I'm very excited about. Calendar day, yes. So the Blue Jays pulled the Yankees on us.
Oh.
I just checked again just to make sure. So I only know the Friday night starter for the Friday day starter for the Blue Jays. So on Friday, we're playing against Yusei Kikuchi, who is a left-hand pitcher. He has an 0-1 record for the season, 6.23 ERA with 4 strikeouts. And he'll be up against, interestingly enough, Marcus Stroman will be the first person to pitch at Yankee Stadium this year for us. He's a righty. He's got a 1-0 record, 0 ERA, and 4 strikeouts. All I can tell you are the Yankee starters for Saturday and Sunday, which is normally the reverse of what I usually am able to tell you. So the very formidable to be determined will be playing against Clark Schmidt on Saturday. He's a righty, 0-0 record so far, 5.06 ERA and 5 strikeouts. And on Sunday, Luis Gil will be on the mound, right-hand pitcher, 0-0 record, 1.93 ERA and 6 strikeouts for the season.
I cannot believe that they pulled the infamous TBD on.
Oh, already. What is that about?
That is weird. That is very weird. I don't.
So too.
I mean, Gosman. I didn't even see Kevin Gosman. I'm not sure when was the last time he pitched. I mean, he could be a possibility that's in there. I'd be kind of shocked. I'm actually trying to. What the hell? I was trying to find something here on my phone, but that was.
I know what you're trying to find.
Yeah, I'm sure it is, but like, yeah, I'm gonna have to work out my situation here with the musical selections because it's not what you want right now. I'm between streaming services. That's what it is. I had Tidal. I felt like it was a little bit pricey, and then switched over to Spotify and just didn't like the interface with it. I don't know because I was probably used to Tidal. And it was just weird. Like, I don't know. I was completely turned off by it. So, I don't know. I decided I'm probably going to end up back with Tidal for whatever. But having said that, I have it now. It's finally there. So the speaker is messed up. So.
Oh, I'm like.
Yeah, it's a little low today, but we'll get that fixed up. All right. Well, thank you for joining us as always. We appreciate the support. Can't wait if you're going to the home opener also tomorrow. Awesome stuff. Enjoy the day. Get there early. Be there when they announce the assistant physical trainer, everyone, and boo. I always boo the other teams everything. It doesn't matter what it is. The assistant chef, who cares? It doesn't matter. They're all getting booed and cheered tomorrow.
Hold on. Speaking of opening day, what are you eating?
I am leaning towards the tots. That's what I'm leaning towards, the tots from LaBelle's. That's the new thing. So I figured I would save something for Sunday that we maybe go grab together. So that's it. I won't be Mr. Softy tomorrow. I can promise you that.
No, Mr. Softy is going to be like in at least another month.
Yeah, exactly. That's not happening. So, if you join us on Facebook, be sure to check out the Empire 161 Show Facebook group and join that. Check out Pop Culture Pros, because that's who we are presented by, popculturepros.com. YouTube, subscribe to Pop Culture Pros. And on X, follow at Pop Culture Pros, but also follow us at Empire 161 Show. And on Instagram, the fabulous at the _Empire _161 _show. If you're looking for us on Instagram, and wherever you found your audio-only podcast, check out Pop Culture Pros. And we're there with a bunch of other cool stuff that's on the network. We will see you all next week. Let's go Yankees. I'll talk to you then. Peace.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you, Damon, Kelvin, and Raul.
Thanks, Raul. And Kelvin and Damon and everyone else. Maybe we didn't chime in. See you next week.